right, well, I think it is time that we get started. It is 5 minutes past the hour, so let's get into this, shall we? Look at me, look at you, look at us. And look, we have new sub, we have new follower. We got a lot of good things going for us today. Like, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, we'll start. 16 is starting a loading screen. I apologize. Normally, so and the reason why I've been doing 15-minute starting screen for the VOD instead of my normal 5 minutes for 10 minutes for like my weekday streams is just because it's mostly for the sake of setting everything, making sure everything's set up on my end and with my guest's end, so that way the stream is running and it's going and people can come in and get settled. And that's why I try and interact and message as much as I can in the chat, that I'm like, oh, I'm here, I'm setting things up. So that way it's just like people aren't just sitting there waiting for nothing for 15 minutes. It's like, oh no, I'm doing stuff on my end to make sure everything's set up, because technical issues are one and the same with this stream. So that is kind of how I have to run it for the VOD, because I'm very forgetful. Thank you, Oth. Love you, man. So with that, we will talk about our last stream yesterday. Yesterday's stream was super good. We had Speed VT on the show, and we talked quite a bit. Now, there wasn't as many questions being asked, but I felt like it was a much more organic and a much more comfortable, like, conversational way. That is, I felt like it worked. It made sense. It really, it felt good. So probably going forward, that'll probably be the format. That way, and there's no like awkward moments, no awkward pauses. We're just kind of getting into it. We're just kind of talking. It'll just be super good. But yesterday's stream was super funny. I mean, with all the stuff we talked about, whether, we were just indulging in conversation of, what kind of stuff do you like to stream? How would you come up with the ideas for, this kind of stuff? And then it derailed into, we just sat there for like 5 to 10 minutes just talking about ara noises. And it was, to say the least, glorious, because I didn't expect my guest to do it. Thank you for that, Marie. Let alone Phantom. I did not expect that. And when I heard that, it was the meme of the guy who was holding his drink like stumbling down the stairs thing, and that was exactly what happened to me when I heard that. I'm like, oh, I see. So yesterday was a really, really fun stream. Now, our next stream that we're going to be having is on this Tuesday. I keep forgetting. This next week is not whatchamacallit. This next week is not the week of Thanksgiving, so I'm like, oh wait, I have streams I need to do. So this Tuesday, I am debating on going back and playing House Flipper, or I may end up playing Bloons Tower Defense 2, because I got that recently and I've been really enjoying it. Not to mention, there is Twitch integration with that. So those who come to watch that stream can influence how stuff is played out. So I highly encourage you guys to come be a part of that stream on Tuesday, and it'll be super fun. Like, it's just Bloons Tower Defense 6, if you haven't played it. Like, I remember playing that game back when Bloons Tower Defense 2 came out, and that was years ago. And I recently was shown Bloons Tower Defense 6, and it is a fun game. It's a really good game because I can just shut off my brain and just watch monkeys pop balloons. So it's super fun. But I encourage you to come join me for that stream. That way you can be a part of the decision-making process. Now, enough of that. We are going to be talking about today's stream. Now, today's stream is going to be with somebody who quite frequently joins us on stream with a lot of our Phasmophobia streams. And that is, as we've seen in the chat, it's going to be our wonderful, wonderful Spider Maree, who recently on the 17th, I believe that was the 17th. Where's my calendar? 17th? 16th? 17th? 17th. Ah, I remember because I was there. And I, my train of thought just, yes, I have such a short attention span. Recently debuted on the 17th with a really cool model, which we'll get to see today. And I'm super excited for us to talk about that a little bit. Not to mention, today's stream is going to actually be cut by 30 minutes. So instead of it being the normal 2 hours, ending at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and instead is going to be ending at 3:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But don't worry, this was communicated before stream with my co-host Phantom and with our guest Spider Maree, because all three of us, and maybe some people in chat, are going to be applying and auditioning in a casting call to go on VTuber Fillion's dating show. So that is coincidentally at 4 p.m. MST for me, 3 p.m. Pacific, and so on and so forth. So all three of us are going to be a part of that and trying to see if we can get on that show. So we want to have a little bit of time to prepare for that, and you know, it'll be super fun. But regardless of the time, it's going to be such a fun show. So without further ado, I am pardon me, just looking at other things in chat. If you're not a part, I'm just looking at my Discord. If you're not a part of the Discord, join the Discord. The Discord's completely free. We got a lot of fun stuff, a lot of cool channels. No, don't worry. The 30-minute cut is not a permanent thing. It is not a permanent thing. That is just for today, because I got the message last night. I got the DM from Fillion. Phantom Maree also got it, and so it just happened that because it came to my attention earlier today that I'm like, wait, this is at 4. My stream ends at 4, but I need to get in that voice chat to see about doing it at that time when it opens up. So I don't want to take any chances. So that's kind of why a little bit of the stream was, 15 minutes before. So yeah, no, it's not a permanent thing. Don't worry. Our normal 2 to 4 scheduled block will continue as normal. So you don't have to worry about that. And who knows, if this channel grows in the future, maybe we'll end up extending it. Welcome, Nina. We may end up extending the show, whether that's we have it for 4 hours for a guest, or even I have 2 guests on the same day where 2 hours is spent with one guest and then 2 hours is spent with another guest. So kind of a la like the Tonight Show deal. And like something I'd love to incorporate with that is I'd love like if somebody who's released a song or is doing a project and they want to play a trailer or promote something for it, oh my gosh, sorry, my Discord on my phone started to just light up. So man, already I'm shrieking and shouting and I'm not even getting hit. There it is. Thank you, Bombastic. Your timing is impeccable. So yeah, is continuing the gifts of the go. What? You can't do this to me. Thank you. I can see stuff in my chat. Just welcome back, Cairo. Welcome back. So without further ado, I have talked about this long enough. Why don't we get started into it? Like I said, if you're not a part of the Discord already, join the Discord, have fun in it. There's so many channels. We talk about a lot of stuff. One of the things that we just talked about recently is somebody burnt their toast. I'm not going to name any names, but somebody burnt their toast, and on the bread scale, the bread grid, it is a I9 level burnt. So join the Discord if you want to see what that means. But with was it fan he do to burn? If you join the Discord, you can see. But Bombastic, you're a part of the Discord. You can see it. Anywho, time to read this out. Time to get this going. So today we will be welcoming someone from down under, from Australia. Now, they are the owner of Cafe Lemos Spider Maree, a snail and slug enthusiast who loves to play horror and pixel games instead of being a responsible owner. But the responsibility comes with the weekend, naturally, of course. That's honestly me with this show, is I'm very serious during this show, very serious, which is on the weekend. But during the weekdays, no. Anywho, without further ado, why don't we get this going? It takes a little bit of a second because of the connections and all that. Marie will show up. There's Marie. We gotta give it a second because OBS Ninja is dumb. So, but that's the only way I found out right now to get people in the show with their full model. But yeah, anywho, welcome to the show, Spider Maree, and thank you, as always, my wonderful co-host, Phantom Fame, for coming and possessing the little Gojo figure we have here on the desk. So
I've got to do what's got to be done. I'm still getting used to seeing Marie in her new model.
yeah.
I miss the gremlin energy, but I do absolutely adore this new model.
It is something that you see it and you're just like, oh, we go from complete little gremlin model. Like, because I remember one of the, I think your profile pic on the Discord before, it was like the drawing of you where your arms are just like facing the sky, just like kind of thing. And like, that's what I kind of envision with it. Every time I see your little drawings, is because it just has so much little gremlin energy to it.
Yeah, I think that gives the duality of like it looks cute, and then I say something horrific.
It is the duality of going from cringe to based. Love the possessed Gojo and the beautiful Marie. So yeah, welcome to the show. I'm gonna make sure I ask this right now because we didn't get to. I didn't ask it until like 5 or 10 minutes before
the last couple of minutes. Yeah.
I was speaking. No, Pyro, no.
Move your butt. I can't see. Did it just happen? Did they do the
no,
thing?
No, it
didn't. They're about to do the thing.
Well, anywho, so Marie, there's all.
They did the thing.
They did the thing. All right, Cairo. Do you want low? Because my voice is a little lower today. Do you want low today?
Headphones.
Do you want high today? Yes.
They want to be treated.
They want that.
No, Willow's inside.
Oh, frick.
Okay.
That's not the What was that I just heard?
That was my imitation of what you just did.
Oh.
It was like, oh, ooh, how about like a little bit of
Aro frick.
Oh my god.
All right, you ready?
Oh my god.
Gotta hit you with that.
Marie, were you about to do it?
Ah, frick.
No, I was laughing.
Oh, I thought you were about to lean into one. I was excited. I was like, this will be good. This will be really good.
Maybe 2,000 points will be
Maybe.
The hosts and the guest all do it.
That would be a good one. That would be a good one.
That would be a fun
If
one.
people beg enough, I'll do it. Yeah.
If people beg enough.
I'm just remembering.
I don't think I'll be able to say anything like that again.
I'm just remembering like a Game Grumps reference where it's just like, I expect you to beg when like Dan was talking about making a deal in Monopoly. It was the funniest thing. He's like, I don't expect you to win. I expect you to beg. It was the funniest thing. Or, something I quote from that all the time is like, I want a fair trade. Well, I want an unfair trade. Well, why would you want an unfair trade when this game is unfair? But anywho, going back to that, Marie, before we were so wonderfully interrupted by that of the was asking asking the question I always ask every time at the beginning of every show, which I feel is the most important question, is who are you and what is your story?
Ooh. Sorry, I was continuing to read chat.
Chat is funny.
So,
Chat is good.
hello everyone. My name is Marie Dumont. I own Cafe Umas with the Albert Dinkle, who is on my head, and then Walter Dinkle, who is currently still in the cafe, working his ass off. You know, I'm just a little gal. I have a father that delved into genetic DNA recombination. So, you know, I'm just the offspring of that. When he decided to get with a woman, so you know, it's chill.
Albert and Walter Dinkle.
Yeah, picked up from a Sunday market
Oh yeah?
for like a couple $.
Oh, I see. Got a little top hat on his shell. Where'd he get the top hat?
Yeah.
Is there a story behind the top hat?
Yeah. No, he's just a very posh guy.
Oh, I see.
He's just a little gentleman.
So you were talking about
Yeah, buck fifty.
a buck fifty. Well, you're talking about how you're like, you said you're the owner of it. How long have you been the owner of this cafe?
Let's see. I'd say about 2-ish years. I found it when it was just abandoned. And originally, I was working retail before then. I was using all the money for retail to be like, yo, what's randazzle this place? Let's see what it's got. And originally it didn't have proper electricity. So, you know, we don't talk about the violation codes before the opening. But people were like, oh?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. And brain, there we go. Okay. So yeah, how Walter, they were helping me make some delicious bussin' food, and we sold that when we started opening the cafe, and people were like, yo, this is bussin'. I'm like, cool, money. And I was able to upgrade the cafe.
So then, what did you do before you opened that cafe? Because I've worked in a cafe. I worked as a barista, and so I know of that a little bit, but I don't have experience running like a chain business or like a food place. Like, did you have any experience before you decided to take on this undertaking?
No, I'm just very ambitious. Is one way to describe it.
Then how would you then? Oh my gosh, I love questionable transitions. How did you really did you just see it one day and just like, that's what I want to do, I make some banging food, and I know people who make banging food. Bussin' food. I'm sorry.
Yeah, correction. Bussin' food.
Bussin' food.
Yes. As they say, bussin'.
Just make bussin' food. And you just like, you know what? I'm gonna get a loan, and get this place because I think that'd be pretty pog, as the kids say.
Yeah. I didn't like. I'd say if it's like similar to a lot of interest people have with what they want for a career in the future, you don't realize it. Like, you want to realize it early, but the thing is you won't realize it early. You'll have it like. The passion for what you want will change, and it can even happen like an instant. And so like this was like an instant. Like, I always liked cooking. I love cooking. It's not the cleaning up process, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
Do you have any like specialties that you have? Because I know a lot of like local places that I've been to have like signature kind of blends, signature kind of drinks and foods. Like, what separates your cafe apart from like say a Starbucks?
Well, mine's not a chain restaurant.
see.
A lot of it is made with the special hands, the special non-existent hands of some sentient slugs and snails that can talk.
I did not know they could talk.
They can talk.
So then, can Albert speak right now?
Not at the moment. I'm trying to get stuff fixed for that one.
Oh.
But originally he definitely could, because I had something set up for him. Right now he's got talking privileges removed for the sake of the show.
So he's a very chattery kind of slug, or a snail.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry.
Something like
Walter
that.
also has his opinions.
I see. So is Albert just what is, because we know what Walter does right now. Walter is, currently at the cafe, just holding things down. So as owner, what do you do specifically inside of the cafe, and then what does Albert do?
Okay, so I'll quickly go over what Albert does, because his is rather simple.
Mm-hmm.
He's our head waiter. We only have 2 employees at the moment. We kind of need more employees.
Oh.
Currently getting help with that at the moment. I have a couple managers as well. My job is pretty much making sure the cafe is up to code with health, food, quality, electricals, even just overall, because it's in this like little block in between, like squished in between like other hotels and cafes and restaurants like that.
Yeah.
And I also, I have to do the billing. Banking day is interesting, because it takes a good hot couple hours just to go through that. From the week's work.
Dang.
And just getting that sorted and everything just restocked and reset for the next week.
Makes sense. So, I'm going to transition this a little more outside of the cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think it's so cool that you have a concept like this where, because for instance, for my show here, I have this big setting, this big kind of feeling and vibe that I've created for the show. And then clearly you have that with your cafe. Now, the question I want to ask is, when it comes to creating these kinds of environments as a streamer and a VTuber more specifically, how much of a priority should it be to create this interactive environment than it is to say just have a blank or like a background and then just speaking over the background kind of thing?
I'd say it'd be, on a scale of importance from 1 to 10, I'd say it'd be like a 7 to 8. Like, you don't need to do over the top, so interactive, like you're like always in there. You don't have to do that, but also not just a blank, like a single color background, because people want something to look at, and if they have like a single color and then just as much as you moving there would be enough, at the moment it's not enough for a lot of viewers on Twitch.
Gotcha. Oh, go ahead.
Also, a very easy way for me, because it's a cafe, to get that mood is me pulling an audio file for cafe chatter for the background.
Yes, that is one of my favorite things that you do. It's so good. It really sets the atmosphere. Like when you go into your stream, and it's like, because I remember the first time I jumped in one of your streams, I was like, is she like in like a school cafeteria, like in college, like sitting down? Like I could not figure out what was going on. And then I went in the next time and I realized that it wasn't just like 1 or 2 people. It was a bunch of different people. And I was like, oh my God, this is an audio clip. This is genius. Because I legitimately thought that it was a Apophis mad, that there's a Gojo imposter.
Apophis, have you not been here to see that? To see this?
I don't think so. I don't think he has.
Oh. Oh, well, yeah. We have a Gojo here. It's a Phantom possessing our little Gojo figure here.
Yeah.
Oh my Gojo. So you were saying, Phantom?
Not my Gojo. But yeah, no, I think that adds such an amazing layer of depth to all of your work. Where, I mean, it atmospherically, it just makes sense when you think back on it. There's no reason not to, because that's like, I know for my theming, it's in a graveyard, so it's, I mean, what would I put there? Wind. But there aren't a lot of people where I can think of like a really cool ambience thing that they can add to their streams. And I think that being in a cafe, and I know that one of the other things that you've done, I don't know if you still do it, is you had little tables set up for the reactives, so they're sitting at like little stools.
What?
Genius.
I still have it. It's just a long table now, just so it's easier for me to figure out room.
That makes sense. Like, cause that was
cause like, oh yeah, you go.
I was gonna say that was you bringing that up. Actually the first iteration of this set. This is a revision of the set. Because originally the desk was pushed much farther back by the bookshelf, and the couch and the table were also pushed farther back, so that it was more center screen instead of like this. But I realized after talking with my mom Tathan, they're like, that's pretty far away, and also people are kind of cut off with their legs, with their models and such, and so it's people want to show off models, so pull everything forward, and that's kind of what we, settled on. By the way, Apophis Nova is the one who designed this entire set. He made all of this. So, just want to plug that.
Nice.
So, the Minecraft desk is my favorite part of this entire thing. And also, fun fact, behind me is this bookshelf here, and I'm currently working on it with the first 50 subs that I have. I'm gonna put your name on a book here, and it'll be a permanent thing for the rest of the show, like until you're not subbed anymore, of course. No, I'm just kidding.
Brutal.
No, but it's just for those who, whether it was gifted or whether it was you actually subbed, for the first 50 people who subbed to this channel, you'll be part of an exclusive club called the Founding 50. So you'll be.
Are you about to say the Founding Fathers?
I thought he was gonna say that too.
So it was followers, but then I realized that I have a lot of followers that just followed me and then have not interacted. So, I realized that, if it's a sub or something like that, whether it's a gifted sub, a prime sub, or whatever sub have you, it's something, you're here and you're supporting the channel, if that makes sense. So, pardon me, but after you sub, it's a one and done. Your name won't be taken off. But yeah, like I said, you'll be behind me on this bookshelf here, so that way you will be forever immortalized.
Yeah, staying where you belong, behind me. In my shadow.
Let's see. The Founding Femboys? Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I feel like that's the sort of stuff where it's like, you say it, it comes out of your face, and the second it came out of your face, that was when you lost control of it. I had some of the stuff like that on my stream.
Look, man. All I'm gonna say is that where is it? Where's my Markiplier one?
Smash.
There we go. But yeah, petition to call ourselves Fembats. If all y'all want to call yourself World, thank you, Apophis. Apophis remembers. This is a show for Marie. Let's go back to Marie and not talk about me. Anywho, you two are both talking about that, is of how creating that little ambiance there is so it's not necessary, but it adds, it's like a nice little touch. And I feel like as we're seeing like more and more VTubers coming, I feel like they're slowly starting to see that, adding just these little personal touches that make their environment them is really what separates them from, say, another streamer. Because like for my aesthetic, my vibe here, I have, you know, just a nice chill little talk show with a mountainous background behind me. You know, you go over to Phantom's, he has a graveyard which is complete with, you know, gravestones, some spooky apparitions. You go to Marie's, you know, Marie has a cafe complete with tables, you know, the ambiance of you know, people talking, vibing, you know, whether it's cash stuff going on. And so it's so incredible to think about the endless possibilities of what you could have in a stream, just a stream environment.
And so yeah, I was going on Reddit because I just remembered that I don't think I've shown you guys the first iteration of what the cafe looked like when it was so bare bones and pixel. And like not, oh, it was so, hang on, oh, where should I put this?
What I think I'll do, I'll see if I have a picture of it. I will, in the Discord, I'll post a picture of, with Apophis, with your approval, the first iteration of the set, which all it is just all the furniture is pushed back.
I don't know how to type a spell. There we go.
Do you have the command set up for the Discord yet?
For me?
Mm-hmm.
No, I
There we
don't.
go. I can spell. Oh,
Yes, you do.
Why are you screaming at my door?
Oh! Wait.
Do you know I put this aside from Alec?
Oh, I guess that is a thing.
Was the very first.
Guys, I have a command for that. I just don't know it.
I'm sure Tathan or Apophis set that up for you.
Oh
No, because
my
I'm the only
God.
one who set up all the bots that I have. I'm the one who set all this up.
Oh.
So
you forgot.
yes, I did. Let's see.
Oh, where's my iron?
Oh my gosh. So then, how about for you, Phantom? How many iterations and how many thoughts did you go through with your environment?
One. I am an incredibly decisive person.
Yeah.
When it comes to this sort of stuff. I find an idea, and once I'm like, yes, that is the idea I like, that's it. I'm set on it. There is no changing my mind. And it's the same thing with the model. It's the same thing with once I got the name, what I do is personally, I will go through every platform I can think of and make sure the name isn't taken, and that's what comes first.
Oh.
So for me, when I was looking around with names, and I found my brain just was like, oh, the Phantom Fame. I was like, that's awesome. I checked Twitter, I checked Facebook, I checked YouTube, I checked Twitch. The only place I found another one was YouTube. And the person had posted once like 2 years ago, and it was like a beat, but it wasn't even like a full beat. It was like 13 seconds of beat, and then it stopped. And I was like, cool, this is what I want. And I built everything out. I fleshed out from the ground up. Because in my opinion, I think that the branding is incredibly important, because if you look through any of my handles and like all of my stuff, the Phantom Fame, it's exactly the same, and it's so easy to find me because of it. So if you find me somewhere, you can find me everywhere else, because it's going to be the same. And I feel terrible for people who don't have the same situation, because it's just, you can get lost in it sometimes.
I was gonna say that's one of the reasons why I chose, like at the time, it's the whole "it's Valentine" thing, because for those that don't know, the reason why the channel, like the channel name is called "It's Valentine" was because when I was creating this, I'm like, I want something to stand out that isn't, you know, just at Valentine, something like that. I'm like, I want something that somebody will remember. And so at the time, I was creating my VTuber persona and setup. Morbius was at the height. Morbius was at the height of its memery, if you want to call it that. And so I thought to myself, it's Morbin time, it's Valentine. That sounds funny.
And it is. to give you full credit. It is hysterical.
Thank you, because that's the whole point of. I'm like, this is so stupid, but I love it because anytime that thinks about it, they just say it's Valentine, and they're just like, oh, he said the thing, you know. It's just coming up with fun original things can just be difficult, but once you hit it, it's like lightning in a bottle.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's see. I think I have it. So I have the picture for the Discord. I will put it. Where is it? I'll put it in the general. So that right there is the original set for the show. And yeah. But that's the original set, and I really like it. I love that because that's how I sketched it out as best as I could, and I sent that to Apophis, and I'm like, this is how I want it to be. You know, a nice laid out couch where I'm on the right side and I can just kind of lean into it of, you know, just a very casual setting. And then I realized, wait a minute, we're 2D models and we're 2D PNGs and all that. And so it's kind of hard when you see the bottom and there's like, you can't control the legs. So
nope.
So then I said, is it possible for you to create a desk for me? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he created the desk, he created the microphone, and then the beautiful mug that is next to you. So
beautiful. And
the figure was there from the beginning, and that was Apophis' touch. So, but it just, again, it makes me so grateful that I have such a wonderful artist. But then seeing all the different artists that do a lot of different works, you know, Maree is an artist, you know, seeing the stuff that Phantom's artists have done for him, you know, it just, before, you don't get a sense of appreciation for how much work is put into this, because all of these things that I have on my set are individual. Like, these are all image assets I have in my sources, folder for my stream. So I can, if I want to, for instance, I could get rid of the poster like that. If I want to get rid of the bookshelf, there goes the bookshelf.
That's so smart, having it on layers like that.
If I want to get rid of my desk, my body. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No hands.
If I want to, there goes Maree. Oh no! Wait.
Oh, good. She's got. I mean, I missed her.
There we go. Hold on. This is what I get. This is what I get.
I see. This is how it is.
Ah!
I'm now orbit.
There we go. Sorry about that.
You just had to play God.
I just had to play God. I realized I need to fix it. You need to fix the chair. Oh, well, that's because when we created this, normally I would go like this and ooh. So yeah, I'll keep it like that for now. But yeah, like, it's just, there's so many cool things. Have you guys ever run into any trouble with trying to get that vision that you want for your stream and just your whole VTuber thing, and just things that just aren't coming together? Because I know with one of the projects I'm working on right now, which may or may not be a 100 follower thing, we may not know. Ooh. I had to go I had to do several revisions, and I'm like, no, this just isn't working. Let's change this. You know, I need this to be different. You know, it's not matching what I have in my head. You know, have you guys had that trouble with figuring out what you want in your own imagination?
Well, I guess that's a totally different question for me.
What the heck? Why do you have this many points? Why? My ears! It's so loud!
One of my mods, he's a very close friend of mine, and I'd draw up my base idea for what I'd want. I'd show it to him, and he's helped me with the iterations. Not for the recent one. The recent one was me, but for the first two, it was him. Like, I originally had a stall that was covering the top of my head, and he's like, that's not gonna work out for you at some point. It takes too much space, especially for gameplay. Get rid of it. I'm like, damn, bro, you're so smart. Yeah.
Bombastic with the threats in the chat.
And originally as well, you like chat was not the orders, it was the menu, which also didn't make sense. So you know, changing that to be the orders is a lot less threatening.
It just makes sense. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Threatening. I didn't even consider that. Yes, it is threatening, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I had not considered that.
I'd put the game I was playing as the menu, and then now I just don't have a menu because there's no point. Like,
sure.
It's just extra space that I don't need.
Sound,
right, yeah.
Sound gets scuffed every stream. So then,
yeah, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. I got a new interface, and we almost had some real scuff today, like some next level scuff today. If we hadn't figured that out pronto.
Background audio is crunchy. I wonder why, because of all of the things you threw, my OBS needs to kind of keep up and handle it. I love you guys, but OBS doesn't.
You told them not to ara. They listened. Well, some of them listened.
Oh, goodness. Pardon me.
Oh my god, I still have my old one. No.
So then, because you were talking about how you really like doing pixel art. That's true.
Oh yeah.
So then,
oh,
whenever you can, do you try and incorporate as much as your own art into a lot of your stuff as possible? Because, like, for those that don't know, Marie is actually the one who did all of my emotes. So all of the things you see here, all the emotes that are available, Marie is the one who did those. So
yeah.
And guess what? I'm commissioning Marie to make more emotes. Let's go!
Yay!
So go support Marie if you want good emotes and some fun art. Oh my gosh, bombastic. But yeah.
Thank you for the show, bombastic.
Since artistry is such a big part of your identity and a lot of your hobbies and all that, you know, do you plan on doing art related streams? You know, maybe showing people how to draw certain things.
I've done art streams in the past. However, they don't do as good as regular streams because, you know, I don't know if any of you guys know how long it takes for us to actually do certain actions. For one section, like, it doesn't look interesting at all. It looks really boring, especially if you have like nothing else to go off of. It's just not interesting. Like, Apophis agrees as well. It's not interesting for viewers, especially because you can't exactly speed it up. It's in real time, takes hours depending on what you're making. Whereas pixel art, you know, takes 5 minutes.
Don't ask how long it takes to draw a line.
Oh yeah, to draw the perfect line, it's like 30 iterations of undo, redo, like draw it back.
Draw it back.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I've actually seen some streamers that are able to do like drawing streams and like all of that jazz, and it kind of interesting that you brought up how the streams don't do well. Now then, I have to ask for both of you, at what point do you think you want to prioritize doing streams you want to over streams you have to? Because I feel like at that point it's a decision of necessity, where I'm like, do I feel like streaming, you know, what I want to do, which is like, if you wanted to do, for instance, I want to do a drawing stream. You know, do I think that would do well? Probably not, but I want to do it versus, let's see, Fortnite is really booming right now with all their OG stuff. I should stream that even though I don't like it. So at what point do you decide that it's time to do a stream that you want to do versus a stream that is much more popular?
So I would never stream something I don't like.
Yeah.
Right, but I would never stream, like, if I didn't like it to some degree, it, for anyone, I know, if you don't enjoy a game, it comes off very obviously in stream. And I had this once where a viewer had asked me to play a Roblox game with them, and a friend of mine was tuning in, and he could tell my immediate uninterest after a period of time with my voice. And it's just if when it comes to like, I'd preferably it would be like I'd stream something I want to do. I'd just have the options of what I want to do. So if I want to do streaming, I could possibly like replace that with either doing Gartic Phone with friends, which I want to do in the future because I feel like that would be fun.
Sign me up. I'm a terrible artist, but I have an iPad and an Apple Pencil.
Hell yeah. Like even that, or just like having oh, hello.
Someone getting behind the counter at the cafe. That is what I've called it. Because I mean that's the only thing to call it. That is one of the most. So that's actually why it took me so long to start streaming myself, is because when I was living with my family and I was trying to stream, it was impossible to get a moment alone. I'm one of 4, and I'm the second oldest, but like constantly, just incessantly, people would be walking into my room or knocking on the door asking for things that clearly they did not actually need. They were just trying to see what I was up to. That was my biggest pet peeve. It actually killed content creation for me, because I've tried content creation. This is actually my 3rd go at it. And the first time I quit because people wouldn't stop trying to pretend like they needed something from me and be in whatever I was trying to make, and it drove me absolutely insane. So like that is, I feel that so much, where it's like, because you know, you can only get, it's so difficult to get your own space. I can't imagine doing it in a cafe where it's like you do not really have your own space. You have to keep going back and talking to customers.
Yeah, no. No, it's just, there are certain times when people will come and talk to me, and this is just one of those times. But that's because everyone's getting ready for the day. It's almost 8 o'clock in the morning for me. So
yikes!
Yeah.
I was not up at 8 o'clock this morning.
I was probably up at 10:30. I went to bed at about 1:30 this morning, like 1:30 a.m. just doing a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, I'm just gonna skip a thing that I was going to go to this morning, and instead I just slept in. So I completely get that. But with that, because it's super interesting, especially having anybody who's on the show who's from a different country. It, like in Australia, like for Australia, for instance, you know, you're a whole day ahead of us.
Yes, sir.
And so, the heck, Nina? With that, how much does that affect your ability to want to stream with people around the world then? Because like for Phantom and I, I'm in the Mountain Standard Time, he's in Eastern Standard Time, but we're still, you know,
Boxed.
It's literally in your streams.
Maybe I just like using it. They didn't need to know that.
I didn't say you lived there. I just said that's where you have your streams.
Yeah, well, now they know.
Oh, what's the future like? It's horrible.
What's the future like?
How you?
So it makes it extremely difficult, especially because like IRL, I actually do part-time job and full-time studying, not too far from what you do, Val, which like both require a bit of my attention. And so trying to work around both of those schedules, plus the times that the person I want to collab with is awake, and then incorporate when I have to get up. If it's an ungodly hour, like 3 a.m., I'm not getting up. But if it's like something like, you know, like now, sure. But it's very difficult for me being, you know, having a 15-hour difference between me and Phantom, or having like a 12 to 13-hour difference between, you know, you and me, Val. It's not easy at times. But you know, that's just how it is being in Australia. I should have expected, like, I expected, like, holy and solely.
Then, did you expect, like, I know with a lot of people, they put collaborations as a very big goal that they want to achieve when they do VTubing. Did you? What?
Hello. It's my mod. Hello.
Welcome, Apple.
Hello.
Appleek.
Appleek.
Welcome to the stream. Thank you for showing support for Marie. We don't has Ice Maker. I see. But back to that, of a lot of people really, they want to try and collaborate as a big goal for their streams. Do you think, like, did you expect to find a lot of people who are you were going to stream with being from, say, America? Or were you thinking that maybe you find more VTubers that were more regional in Australia?
I don't know. I was not expecting VTubers from Australia, because there's not a lot of us. As much as it looks like there's suddenly a whole plethora on Twitter, actually finding them is like a needle in a haystack with the absolute amount of VTubers. As for Americans, I wasn't expecting being able to collab with people full stop, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Americans I'd still suggest, because like it's the majority, similar with like certain portions of Europe and other portions of Asia.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what I wasn't expecting was over half of my audience being from the USA. Considering the times I stream is close to like 6 a.m. for some of them.
Oh, welcome, Soul Blackheart.
like when I used to do like consistent streaming, but I'd do it consistently after I had like a close at work.
Oh, that sounds rough.
Yeah.
I see. I'm going to go to the fembat room, the bathroom, the restroom.
Fembat room.
The fembat room.
Fembat room?
But not before drinking more water.
Of course, you're not allowed to leave.
Stream from 8
I
p.m.
see.
to 11 p.m.
So,
some nights. Yeah,
I'm just gonna go do that. But Phantom,
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
The floor is yours, my friend. I will be back.
Oh, perfect. Excellent. Move me.
Oh wait, hold on. I need to do it like this.
Move me.
Got you there, and then put you right there.
Excellent. Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Hey, I got you. All right, I will be back.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's talk some shop, Marie. Now that it's me and you. Look, I'm looking for a new co-host on the VOD. The last guy we had, not ideal, not who I really wanted. He wouldn't have been my first choice, but you know, I do it for the kids. I do it for the kids. So let's say that I was perusing around. I'm looking through Twitch. I'm trying to find someone cool to watch. I just found out that the person I've been watching like isn't a cool person IRL, and they just got canceled. They're no longer on Twitch. I need someone new to watch. I stumble across your channel. Why do I stay?
Oh.
Is that too hard? What is the appeal that your channel has that draws people in? What have you noticed that people really like about your channel? Like who are the types of people in your chat?
The vibes. The people that stay in my chat is people that have snored crack cocaine.
Okay. Tell us about that then. So what kind of chat interactions do you have? Because mine are insane. The types of chat interactions I have just do not make sense. They don't check out.
Similar to yours, except my chat consistently bullies me, but that's just the thing between my friends as well, so, you know.
Okay. That's just kind of expected. That's par for the course for you.
She was unironically baby.
She is baby. Look, that's fine. That's totally fine. Also, if you have any points, just redeem a shit ton of Ara-Aras right now. It'll drive Val absolutely crazy. I don't know if you had time to swing by the stream yesterday, Marie, but it got so out of hand and it was glorious.
No, I didn't, unfortunately.
That's all right. That's all right. But yeah. So okay. So a lot of it sounds like you have a lot of support from people that you know either IRL or that you've met because you are actually part of a group, correct? A VTubing group.
I was that group unfortunately
Oh no,
at the
did they
moment is
disband?
momentarily closed. For the moment, yes.
Okay. So what does that look like? Like for you, how does that change things for you, knowing that things are the group isn't necessarily disbanded, but it's on like some form of a hiatus? Like, does that change your approach at all, or is that just
not really? It just makes me like a bit sad because it's like having like a nice little group to associate yourself with is nice, but it changes almost nothing for me.
Right. Well, because I imagine that usually most people when join a group, they're looking for someone who has more than they have that they can give. So the agency itself is basically saying, hey, we have these resources, we can pool these resources and we can use this to promote your stuff. When it comes to smaller groups, like I believe what you have, Indigo? Was that the name of it? Okay. I'm imagining you guys were more on the smaller end. Was this? Go ahead.
We had, I think, at the moment, because a lot of people were leaving. Let me check how many and do. About 11 people, including the person that runs it. She's still playing video games. I'd organized a schedule to play with you a lot.
That's a decent amount. Yeah, I mean, that's terrible to hear that. I think that really is how it goes, both in the entertainment industry and in VTubing, where we're sort of like, we're just kind of, I wouldn't say at the bottom, but we're at the beginning stages. We're in the lower rungs of the ladder. I feel like we're one step up. We're at affiliate. We're starting to get emotes. We have some forms of monetizations. It's starting to be a little more, people are a little more discretionary with choosing who they're interacting with. And I feel like having a group is really, really helpful for that. Like you said, just knowing that there's a group of people that they're dedicated to being available to interact with you specifically and to being able to help you out. You don't have to worry, oh, am I bothering this person? Are they just trying to be nice because they need viewership and don't want to turn someone away? And yeah, I think that's so interesting. So do you have any plans to start up a new group, or are you going to look to join another, or what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that's something that you're going to be missing so much that you might try to fill that gap and work with some of the remnants of that group to start up something in the interim just to tide yourselves over?
Yeah, eventually there is mention of a reopening once everything was sorted. It was just, the beginning was very rough, especially with certain members that were a bit problematic.
Okay, gotcha.
There was also interactions with other members was very,
so there was drama that cropped up, and then to address it, they decided the best thing to do was just to disband or put the group on hiatus and sort of redefine what the group is.
Yeah, at a very much later date.
That is so mature, and I'm so happy that you found a group that is smart enough to do things like that. I cannot stand, when I was younger, I watched a YouTube group called The Creatures, and it was a mishmash of a bunch of different all male, I'm fairly certain all of them were male, content creators, and it got so toxic towards the middle of it, where you couldn't tell who was starting the drama, why the drama showed up, or like which direction it went, but you just knew that some of the members hated each other, but they had to do skits together because they needed they needed all of the creators hands on deck, and they didn't disband. They should have disbanded 10 years prior to when they did, but instead they just kept trying to push through it, and it just does not work out. I think it's so good to see that there are people who are mature enough to be able to step outside of themselves and say, hey, this isn't working, and rather than trying to keep pushing through this issue, we need to just clean slate. We need to start again. Because did you stream before VTubing? I don't remember if I've asked you this question.
I did stream a little bit. It was a lot of I didn't do any like face cam or anything. It was like either the nothing or the PNG. Like,
yeah, and you were an abyss tuber. You were just a voice coming out of the abyss. Someone said that the other day, and I'm going to use that forever. And I wish I remembered who said it. I'm sure they're going to yell at me because I'm sure they're in chat. And when they do, we'll see. Man, drop the creatures that takes me back. Yeah. Well, because I didn't realize Nova is still doing stuff, and he's in like really good shape.
Yeah, it was in Stardew Valley. I was doing it as Abyss.
Okay.
Tuber. I think a little bit of Terraria maybe, but it's mostly Stardew and art from memory.
You're not allowed to say that word. That's Robe's trigger word. That'll summon him.
Oh.
You're allowed to say. I'm joking. He just threw cans. Just throwing cans at me.
It's
Val. It's Val.
From his piss throne.
Oh no.
What did you just?
Oh, okay, good.
What did you say? Hold on.
To say, I was like, I'm hoping that he's okay in there. The second I saw him throw those, I was like, he is either back or he's gonna be gone for a while.
No, I got back. I got back like probably 5 or 6 minutes ago, and I was just listening to the conversation and eating a sandwich because I realized I didn't eat anything before stream, and my stomach was like rumbling a lot. I'm like, I gotta do something about this. But
that's funny.
I was there for a lot of the Gojo didn't move when the cans flew. That's because he's using Infinite Void.
I'm too strong.
Smack my head, as the kids say.
Purple.
But talking, bro was munching. Talking about your that. Thank you, Roll. I appreciate that. Your that group. So if I understood correctly from because I came in halfway through that conversation, they kind of retire, or they kind of went on a hiatus because things just didn't pan out.
Yeah, the owner of the group was putting a lot of her time into it. And I was putting a bit of my time into it as well because there was a couple members that were consistently asking me for artwork for free, which like
that's a big no-no.
One of them was asking me basically for one every single day, and this was when I first started uni, so I was getting burnt out like that. And he didn't credit me for some of the stuff I'd like, or any of the stuff I'd made.
Oh my god, Marie, where do they live? And
America.
Are you? So I can beat them up.
Sounds.
They're one of my own.
Sounds about right. Americans being.
I'll go get them, dude. I will go and get them.
Americans just being
America.
America.
I do not like people that don't credit the artists.
Yeah, and we had the owner was also an artist. We had another artist who was also getting asked quite a bit from some of our members. A few members that she wouldn't listen to me when I told her to slow down. Yeah. I was a bit excited, okay? I had a new PC, I had stuff to do with it, okay? Anyways, yeah, a lot of the members, there's a couple members that joined that you could tell were just there to exploit the benefits and didn't want what was best for everyone.
Oh.
So, one member had joined that had just asked for stuff, and I was, I wasn't going. I wanted to say I didn't want to do it for free, but I did it. I made them a ref sheet for free. Not good, by the way. It was not a good ref sheet.
Okay, good. I'm glad they didn't get good stuff for free.
It depends. I'm not good at drawing male physique, so
Well, it's
male full body physique.
it's interesting that you bring that up, because when I was commissioning some of the stuff I'm getting recently, I was getting sent the drafts, and I had paid for it. And I was getting sent the drafts, and I'm like, oh man, you know, I want to save this as for future reference. I'm like, I shouldn't do that. That wouldn't be right. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, I paid for this. I can do whatever I want with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that was. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like a lot of the time people are like, look, if you didn't pay for it and they sent you something like a rough sketch with like a watermark, yeah, don't do that. But if you paid for it like at the beginning, and like at that point they're working for you now, I'm like, you're entitled to that. And it took me like a couple days to realize, oh wait, I can actually save this even if it's a draft because I paid for it.
Yeah.
Yep. I had that issue with the when I was getting like some of the emotes done, where I was like, I need to make sure these work with Twitch, because the first round didn't. And so before like accepting and finalizing the order, I was like, I'm gonna upload these first and make sure the final work does actually do what it's supposed to do, because if it doesn't, it's useless to me. And like, yeah, you kind of have to ride that line of like, oh, like, well, at that point, do you pay for it? If you're asking for it for a specific purpose and the person doesn't deliver, but they did do art, like that's a really tough situation to navigate, at least in my opinion.
You can just ask them to resize the canvas.
Because
I didn't know that.
I mean,
now you do.
Now I do.
You can just resize. So you can get the artist to just ask them to resize the canvas as specific pixel by pixel. If not, they might have it inch by inch or centimeters by centimeters, but it'll mostly be pixel by pixel.
God, why don't I just have you do work for me? Can you just do work for me for free?
wait, and this does what?
Depends. It just fixes the size. So say that you want for Twitch, the specifics is like 512 pixels by 512 pixels. Where you have 2000 pixels by 2000 pixels. You can just get them to be like, oh, can you resize it to this specific size? Like, I had to do that for Discord for some of my emotes, despite all of them being consistently to 2000 pixel by 2000 pixel, but that's because of the size. But some of them was different than the others, file-wise.
What's funny is in my chat I just posted the Dr. PP emote. That's what it's called. But the Dr. Pepper emote. When I first uploaded that was like a horribly compressed and digitized version. And then I'm like, I need to figure out how to fix that. And my artist, Apophis, is just like, just send that to me and I'll fix that for him. Like, you can do that? He's like, yeah, it's not that hard. I'm like, oh wait, yeah, you're right. And I sent it to him, and he just midstream comes back later, like 15 minutes later, and says, all right, here you go, and sends it to me, and I re-uploaded it. And so, like, I guess it's much. I mean, working in Photoshop and Illustrator, just make him big and then crop him down is what I've done in my experience.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Let me take a sippy sip of water.
So I was drinking water as well.
Phantom, where's your orange juice?
My Sunny D. Hold on, I got it right here.
Did I say orange juice? Wait, did I say apple juice? Did I say orange juice?
Didn't work, which is in 4 years for
You
nothing.
sato orange juice.
Absolutely.
Oh,
But you weren't wrong.
It's
orange drink.
I see.
And like to add on to that, to the art stuff, in our agency, we were getting ready to start releasing like who were the members of our VTubing group, and that included merch. And for the merch for one of the guys, I wasn't sure if he had paid the commissioner's fee to say that he could resell it. Because one of my artworks were in there.
I disappeared. Where did I go?
No. So because
He's back to his piss throne.
Yeah. Because
I hit the wrong
I
button.
hadn't been paid for the commissioner's things. As much as it's a silly little shitty doodle, if you're going to be selling that, I would like I would like money for you to sell my shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, of course. Well, that was someone asked me if I was going to turn some of my stuff into stickers, and I was like, that's something I would need to that's something I definitely need to like ask about, because you can't just because you're like, oh, they made this art for me and I own this art now. It's like, yes, but they made the art with the understanding this is how it would be used. It's the same thing with like voice actors right now with like AI voices, where it's like, yeah, just because I gave you voice lines for like Reinhardt doesn't mean that you can then take my voice lines from Reinhardt, mix them all together, and make a new character. Right. Or God forbid you turn it into a AI voice and then you just use me forever in perpetuity and make me Reinhardt Hatsune Miku. Like,
I don't know.
That's not okay. That's not what I signed up for.
I don't know. Reinhardt Hatsune Miku sounds pretty good.
Off of it as well. And yeah, so, and you know, I'd gone to the owner and I'd be like, yo, I'm not sure about this, and the owner hadn't even checked with him that he had paid commissioners thing for the artworks he presented. So we both checked with him. He had, except for yours truly, because of course me giving you artwork for free equals you do not have to pay commissioners, right? That's how that works.
Yeah.
I'm glad at some point, because it was getting too much, I had to tell him to stop asking me for artworks, and even then I was still making him artworks, just not to a great extent, but yeah.
So then as an artist, how do you try not to get burnt out by that? There's so many requests, or just by having to wade through the ocean of what is the word I'm trying to, the ocean of
Permissions.
Well, I was gonna say the ocean of open hands where they're asking. Because it's like, because there's a phrase. Do you know what a choosing beggar is?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's because that's what you get a lot of the time, of people who are like, can I get free art? And they're just like, you know, maybe, sure. Depends, like,
yeah, but I can get you exposure. Yeah,
that's the biggest thing about it, is just I can get, that's the biggest
thing.
Is that it? It's just I could pay you an exposure. It's just like, unless you're Mr. Beast levels of exposure, that's a very bad response in any case of just, I pay you an exposure. Like, oh, wonderful, exposure puts puts food on my table.
You can go to jail for exposure.
You can die.
Originally,
you can die from exposure.
That's true.
Originally, you know, before I joined the group, I was fine with like doing stuff for free. For now, I have realized that my time is valued.
Absolutely.
And time is absolutely money. And like, I don't get asked for commissions at all. I hope you guys realize it's only this group that has asked me actually for commissions. So I do not have the wave. I can paint sunflower seeds. Beautiful. Okay. I'll eat those.
Apophis like sunflower seeds. But
sunflower seeds are dope.
Because even then, you know, being a college student, a university student rather, much like myself, it's just like you're having to really figure out, like, is this what I'm going to put my time in for? And is this what I'm going to spend my time doing? Because like, I realized that the dollar is worth much more than the Australian dollar, and so what I was able to do is, once I commissioned that, I was able to give a little extra, because I'm like, oh wow, the conversion rates are really different,
favorable.
Yeah. And so I'm like,
and thank you so much for that.
Hey, I that was such, my gosh, you're very welcome. It's because, like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, if you have the ability to, in my opinion, if they do very good work, tip them extra, because at that point it's just, it's well worth it in the end, if you're just giving somebody that extra little leg of just, you did wonderful work, I'm going to reward that wonderful extra work. And thankfully the American dollar can do that. So But yeah, I can't wait for getting more, commissioning more emotes. That'll be so much fun. Cause we got so many. But we're moving into the last stretch of our journey here. We have about 9 more minutes. Which I'm sorry guys, it's coming to an end, only an hour and a half show, so I apologize. But this is something that all 3 of us are doing after the stream, so
Maybe.
yeah, Monozuki, so all 3 of us are going to be auditioning and trying to get on VTuber Fillion's dating show. So this is just a one-time thing, don't worry, the VOD will not be an hour and a half, it'll always be 2 hours, but just for today we're ending it at 3:30 MST, so which I believe is around 10 o'clock your time, Monozuki. Something like that. So yeah, as we're getting to these final parts, is there anything you want to talk about? I mean, actually, you are technically the first because you're part of an agency, so right?
Yes.
So technically, you are the first agency VTuber I've had on this show. So how do you feel about that?
Simply. Weird.
Weird. Albert's sliding off.
Oh yeah, Albert's sliding. Sorry, I was looking at my phone.
But I just can't imagine how much work that goes in on an industry side like that. Are you more limited? Not talk about necessarily the ins and outs of it, but are you able to kind of describe the process and just how much work actually goes into the behind the scenes stuff for especially an agency? Because I'm not talking about like specifics, because of NDAs and all that. Yeah. But I'm more referring to like the pardon me. I'm more referring to the there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes, because we got to do X, Y, and Z.
I'm gonna sneeze. Hey. Oh, sorry.
Maria's dying.
Sorry, I just had the. Yeah. There's not a lot. I'm going to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I can never imagine what the owner of the agency, the founder of the agency, goes through for us. She goes through a lot. It is very clear to see.
Yeah.
And like even being one of the artists to help with the other people in the group, it was a bit at first, but it turned into practically nothing by the end of it.
So then I guess my final question would be, do you think VTuber agencies are a necessity to have as an alternative to indie VTubing in the content creation sphere?
No, it is not a necessity at all. It is definitely not a necessity. Don't ever feel like you have to be in an agency or in anything. Even in a small group, don't feel like you have to be in it just to be noticed or to be able to network or anything like that. You can do all that on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, simply joining this single server that Lazarus had where I found Phantom, that's done for me more than being in the group. No offense to my group, but
well, of course you can certainly have your feelings and opinions about that. Because when I expand on that, when I say it's a necessity, I more mean we have indies. You're either an indie or you are a corporate VTuber. There is no in between. Because if you're part of an agency, you're technically a corporate VTuber because you're part of a group. But I mean, and that's in my opinion. I don't see anything wrong with that by any means. It's with that little dichotomy there is, do you think it is necessary with that to have the alternative, rather than everybody just being an indie? Having the option of trying to go for an agency offers a bit of levity or a bit of access that couldn't otherwise be obtained through something like an indie like an indie start. Because the way how I've kind of had it figured out and described is the pros and cons of each are, if you're an indie, you have a lot more freedom and you have a lot more control over what you can do, but you're starting at the very bottom rung of the ladder where you have to do a lot of the footwork yourself. Whereas with a corporate, and I'm going to use something like Hololive or Niji Sanji, is if you choose to be a part of a corporate, you know, if you go the corporate route and you are able to get in, you suddenly have a much higher foothold.
A much higher foothold. Oh, okay.
Sorry, I got hit with a hydrate redeem.
Oh, I see.
But you're given that much higher foothold that you could otherwise not get, but in return, you don't have a whole lot of control. What the heck? Where did that come from? What? Where did that come from?
Where did that come from?
I know, so
I have no idea where that came from. That didn't show up in chat.
You know what? I know where it came from.
It wasn't Tathan. Tathan's not here.
No. Your queue is backed up. I was looking at your queue. You have 6 hydrates, 10 throw of Dr. Peppers.
Oh, yeah.
No, with 0 text speeches, but you have another throw a bunch of Dr. Pepper. That, I guess, so much stuff was going on that they just never finished getting redeemed.
I see.
Yeah. So I clicked like, yeah, that's been addressed. Like, and then it just shot him out. And I was like, oh, like that might be what Tathan did that one day. He might have just accepted a ton of requests that were unredeemed that were still in your queue. And so it just shot him all at once.
I hate all of that because that makes sense. So that makes sense yesterday when I hit, because when I saw that yesterday, because I was actually taking a look at more of those settings live on stream. That's why when I saw that and I hit all request, I shotgunned myself with all of those Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, there you go. I cleared it for you.
Oh,
that's what he did. All right, I've outed his secret. Sorry, buddy. I figured out what the problem was.
Well, only he can access, or well, actually, no, you can now, but only mods can access that.
Yeah, only mods.
Oh, goodness.
Hi, Apophis.
Only mods.
Apophis, please don't.
I just cleared them all. You should be good.
Oh, okay. So, oh my goodness. Well, we're nearing the end of this. With that in mind, figuring out that last question of, finna throw cans at you. With that, you know, giving that foothold, do you think that is a good alternative? Do you think that is necessary to have that duality of control versus starting from the bottom against starting higher up but you have less control?
Yeah, I think it's good to have that, and also I consider our agency to be like the in-between where we're all starting from the bottom, but like together it almost collectively rises us all up, and there's like a bit of like, you know, allowance for us to do our own thing.
Yeah,
especially with rules and such, it's very lax, but where there's also a bit of like control.
Well, that makes sense. That makes a ton of sense. Well, here's hoping that when you come back on the show next time, I mean, we'll be just streaming probably Phasmophobia, you know, it just happens. But later down the line in the future, when we have you back on the show, we definitely have to see where the, you know, any changes that have happened with that. So, the very absolute last question: do you have anybody that you know that we can raid?
He went offline. Never mind.
Yeah, because everyone's probably getting ready to get on the thing.
Maybe.
Because if anything, speed is going right now. But you know, if you have somebody,
Get him.
Yeah.
Get him.
That was instantaneous.
Oh yeah, I have final words from my mod before he left. He says to let you all know that Albert and Walter were definitely not my idea. That was his idea. I just co-owned that idea. So Yeah, he made up what Albert and Walter Dinkle are. He's the genius behind the name.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Marie, for so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing your success in the future. Not only that, we look forward to seeing you back on when we play Phasmophobia, because that is inevitable. Anywho, my name is Val, this is Phantom, we've had Marie, and this has been the VOD. We thank you so much for coming on, and we look forward to seeing you next time, next weekend, with our wonderful guest. I believe it is Rencat. I have to check. But I hope you guys can check me out on Tuesday when we play Bloons Tower Defense 6. Not only that, join the Discord. There's so much to do in the Discord. We're going to have so much fun in there, you know, and there's plenty of surprises. Not to mention, we're going to try and get to 100 followers. I have some 2 big things planned for that, so stay tuned as we're going to be doing that. Anywho, why don't we raid Speed Demon now and see what he's going to do. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Hey, look at that.